Alright, hello. Welcome back, folks. Roth here. We're going to be checking out Terrifier the Arcade game. It's out on Steam Next Fest. Today's the 20th, so today is actually the last day, I think, to test out this demo. But a majority of the demos, some would expire. Maybe some would still remain even after the week of Steam Next Fest. And we've been doing a whole lot of Steam Next Fests this past week. And I'm finally getting down to some more of the single-player ones. The majority of them were the more horror side, horror genre. And this is more on the beat-em-up, arcadey beat-em-up style of game. Fighting, beat-em-up style. Akin to like Double Dragon, Battletoads, some of the classic 8-bit, 16-bit era. River City is another series that I like growing up. But this one's based on the horror film series, the Terrifier, or I guess just Terrifier in this case. And just with part 3 that was recently out, now it's hit mainstream, and now they've got this video game based on Art the Clown, or the Terrifier films. So Terrifier the Arcade game, bloody retro fighting beat 'em up with frenetic action and a lot of fun and references to the Terrifier franchise. Not sure how they worked that incomplete sentence, but that's okay. Developed by Relevo and published by Selecta Play. I think they're based in Spain. Not sure what else they've done. Apparently, when you click on their page on Steam, they've done seems like another horror game here and there, and maybe some other indie fashion, possibly puzzle games, it looks like, or platformers. But yeah, it looks like platformer, 2D platformer style. Antro Bubble Ghost remake. Okay, let's dive on in. I'll link the Steam page for Terrifier the Arcade game over to the live chat and also the video description once this has been archived. So streaming this live to Twitch and YouTube right now, and many other places. So yeah, links will be provided in those chats. Let me see if we can actually send this message over. Twitch is having some issues right now. I think their Amazon server is currently down and in the fix right now. So after I ended stream last night, it must have kept the channel live for some reason. So now I'm trying to, I don't know, rebuttal that. So still live, but then like I'm actually sending data to it so that, this video going through. So that might alter things afterwards. So we'll see how it turns out. If any case, I'll just have all the video archived to YouTube side. So no matter what goes on during the live, it will be archived afterwards. So this is the demo. Since this is a beat-em-up style game, I kind of prefer the beat-em-ups played with a controller, so I'm using a Wii U Pro controller, an old one that released on the Wii U Nintendo controller. So how I connect it to the PC is I use an 8-bit DO adapter, and yeah, I'm going to connect to it. I just press any button at all. See the lights blink, and then it'll just connect to it. So press A. So I'm assuming this being a game that's on PC, it'll be laid out to Xbox layout controls, so I have to go in options and just some things here. Let's bring this down a bit. Guessing the sound effects would be really loud, so let's see. Vibration, I'll keep it to the defaults. Image effects. Interesting that there's image effects in it. None, CRT. So by default, it would have the VHS. Okay, so once you enable them, it would have. Okay, so okay, I see the static now. So when you turn it off, it seemed to take off the VHS. But when you swap to between VHS and CRT, it seems to show it. But it doesn't seem to. Yeah, I don't know if none would give us another visual, but Yeah, it's alright. Hey there, bud. The hours have reset now? Nice. Let me take a look here. Oh, nice, sweet. Okay, so I wonder if I do end the video, if it would still go on Twitch side. I guess we'll find out. Alright. So keep the options there. The story mode. Oh, actually, let's check the controls real quick. See how. Alright, so there's a strong attack, dash. I'm guessing it's the eastern button. Basic attack, okay. Big attack, strong attack. Jump is the southern button. Special move is the R. And then run is the left with the L. And then both the stick and the D-pad are moved. I'm not sure why they're circling the minus button as well. You see, and then paw, of course. WASD keys for keyboard. And apparently they use UHJ and then OKL. Then backspace for start. Interesting. I don't think I've seen that layout for keyboard mouse. Alright, snap it on. Apparently this has a second player option. Didn't know that. For this demo too. That's pretty neat. Okay, so we got how many characters here? Oh, this is the guard, security guard from Terrifier 2 and onwards. I think he pops up in part 3 too, like momentarily. Oh my gosh, this is the other character that pops up later. I'm blanking out on her name. There's the pale kid. She pops up in part 2, and then eventually in part 3 as well. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I watched that. It's been like a good year, I think. Whichever it came out. So I guess we'll start with art. I also did a little fan art of art. It's a clown. I think I should also show that too. I don't have it readily prepared, but you can do a search channel. Just our YouTube side and Art the Clown or Terrifier. It would pop up the results. Zoop. Channel search or Roth search. Filming of major horror movie begins in city. Nice. Wait, was that pixel art version of Damien, the director? Rumor has it. Oh my gosh, look at this image. Exposing the gruesome murders and parading their tragic lives on screen. That's something they'll never allow. I feel like they need to increase that font a little bit more. I know it's going to be played on, like, you know, big screen, high res, 4K monitor or whatever, but that font, I feel like, could be a little bit better. Bigger, I mean. Bigger display, like how, like, Silent Night here. Maybe half that size, or I don't know, a third of that size. Okay, so this is the, VHS filter? So, regularly, this will be the default option. Let me see if we can actually bring down tune a bit. It's a little loud, I think. But maybe that's what they're trying to portray, if they want this game to be loud and metal. I'm not sure if it's the right vibe for... You guys can get kicked already. Oh my gosh, there's a QTE for that. Okay. Thought this was a beat up. Now I'm the one being beat up. There's a basic attack. Ooh man. Yeah, this is gonna be rough, huh? The gun. I like how the eyeball like pops up to the screen. Very Ninja Turtles. It's going for that Ninja Turtles, you know, Turtles in Time sort of ordeal where you toss the foot soldier to the screen. But I feel like that eyeball could be a little bit bigger, I think. If it explodes to the screen, it seems like if it's that small of an eyeball that appears on screen, I feel like it should be a bit bigger displayed, or maybe just have it bounce off the screen in a way where it's like not sticking onto the screen, but like just bounce off because it's a ball. It's the shape of a ball, so you think of physics. That's my feedback on that. And trust me, I'm gonna be, you know, grilling every game that I play. There's teeth there. You low touch. It slides off the screen instead of bouncing off. I feel like, you know, I know it requires a little bit more animation work to get it to look like it bounces off, but still, I feel like, you know, I don't know, if you want to add a little more detail to it. The old guy. I didn't want to hit him, but I guess I just want to test it out. Is it like, oh, I was going to jump there. Interesting that there's like QTE for just getting up. Oh, River City Ransom. That's great, I like that. The gun. Oh my gosh, I'm about to get here. Another shot. Was that the horn? I feel like the special move should make it so that we can pick up the weapon. Oh, it's the Y, or not the Y, the northern button. Pick up the weapon. Kind of want to go with that too. Okay, we toss it like River City. There we go. Okay, so it is the northern button. I feel like, okay, so another thing here with indie devs is that they typically, a lot of indie devs, they make the mistake of, you know, putting the letter of the controller for the button to press, which nowadays is a big oof, you know. It's a confusing thing for especially when nowadays when you're making PC games or multiple platform release games. When you're playing on Nintendo, whether or not you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation or PC scene, it's important to put all 4 buttons, the face buttons, as the buttons to place on there, and then just highlight the ones that need to be pressed. So if it's the northern button, put all 4 buttons and just highlight the northern button, the one at the top. So left, right, you know, north, south, east, west. That way it's understandable, since, you know, Nintendo controller, and then I have to press up, but then the Y that's labeled on the Nintendo controller is on the west. So knowing that, I have to show it like this way. Let's see if I can actually get it without getting hit. Oh my god. Luckily I dodged that. But that was a Terrifier cereal. That's like a little reference to the movie. Oh, what's that hit there? Yeah, you gotta do an early jump kick to land it. There we go. We got the baton. Oh, look, there's the eyeball again. We ride the bike. Yeah, there you go. Fatality. Oh, got hit by the baton. Try to dodge that baton. Ooh, that was a special right there. Trying to use the R special. Oh man, you can bring up the it's like picking up the trash barrels in River City. Okay, there's a tape over there. Okay, there's something in the mailbox. Let me see. Oh, you don't get to hit. You don't get to swing the trash barrel the same way in River City. Try to pick this up. Unlocked? What did I unlock? Maybe the old man there. I think Art the Clown would definitely take out the old man. Let's see what happens if we leave him. Y'all doing? Oh, I think the impact of the special ability, or whatever that was, should, you know, go all the way through the screen. If there are enemies that are like right behind it, make sure that they get hit too. I feel like I don't know. it just feels more impactful when they allow for that, where there's an AoE for that ability, Kind of like playing a dungeon crawler or something. Look at the brains on the guy. Checking for mail here. The detection for picking up the weapons, you have to be on the right, like, plane, if you know what I mean, like the layer of that plane. Okay, so now there's multiple directions. Yeah, I'm gonna go up here and see what happens. I like that they use arrows to indicate, oh yeah, you can go up here, you can go up there. Not even a go, like there's no language needed for that, just arrows. So you know exactly where, Sometimes they use the arrow and the go. But that would require a little more translation, depending on the region. One word to play in a different language or something. Oh my gosh. Oh no, they're taken out. Is that one bar? I saw the punch coming. Yeah, I'm not so used to the QTE for getting up. Another jump there, and then getting punched. Might as well just toss it out. Oh my gosh, he moved. Combo. Oh, nice. I took out the motorcycle too. That's very neat. Another tape. Oh, there's a body slam there. Now I gotta see if I can actually run. See, that should also hit the guy too. Nice. Ooh, I like that. Oh, there's the go. Uh-oh, TNT. Man, I was hoping to hit that guy with it. The eyeball. Oh, I thought I had him. See, that should hit him right there. It's in the middle of my special there. We actually used that bear trap. Yeah. I'm not sure why I have to do that multiple times. If they're within the right amount, if they're close enough to the circumference of the attack, that should still be, should still detect. Ooh, that's close. Ooh, get some ice cream or something? Maybe that's a videotape. Ooh, more Terrifier shake, I guess. Try to pick up the can there. The bear trap. Nice. Ooh, okay. Come on. Nice, 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 nice. Man, these guys block. Can we crouch? Big traps. That's hilarious. Just toss the box at his partner. Oh man, what the heck? Yeah, the thing is, like, when you're down and then there's enemies there that will block the Q2E A button, sometimes I don't know, I have to remind myself, well, yeah, I gotta press the A button, and won't be able to see that, so unless the A button is, like, layered on top of the enemies or any objects that's blocking the way, only then I would know that I have to press it to pick it up. And same for the enemies, too, like, when there's a finisher timer thing, I kind of know that, that is active unless I see the circle, and remembering that I can do that, then again, every player is different. They may not be able to remember that. But I feel like, each of those Q2E actions needs to be put on the top surface, like how that go button is. There, press Y there. And there's a coin. Odd sound for a coin, but okay. Could be like a wallet or something. Open up a wallet. Or even a ka-ding, ka-ding, like a high tone. Very arcadey. I don't know. Go for an arcadey coin sound. Arcade sound. That. Gotta be a little wary on the trap. My gosh, guy. The guy with the mohawk. Oh. Look at this punk. The cereal. Man, I feel like this guy's gonna be a tough one. Let's see. Ooh! Hit him mid-air, man. Is this guy like the arcade's adobo? Or abobo? What happened there? The barrel just exploded on me? I don't know why the characters are in slow motion. Like the attacks. Right there, that animation there is like very slow. Like it's 2 times faster than it should be, you know what I mean? Whereas if you go back to playing like Double Dragon or Battletoads, like more of the animations are a little bit faster. I don't know. Right, that thing right there? I don't know, but it would be a little more dangerous, of course. Oh my gosh, I'm getting beat up here. There's a coin sound. Over there, like that. The blood splatter coming up. I need to not be there. Ooh, I saw that bouncing in. Oh, nice. I don't know if I got hit with that. Boop, boop, boop. I feel like the horn could be a different sound, like a bonk. So there's another clown game called Killer Clowns from Outer Space, based on the film. It's an asymmetrical horror game. They have a clowntality. They call it like a fatality clowntality, where they bring out the horn. It's like a tiny little horn, regular size. So they use it, and it'll give out like a big honk, and blows out the characters, the opponents, the human survivors. I feel like it should have that kind of sound for that honk, instead of like a tiny little poka poka. When he's riding a bike, as you've seen in the trailers for Terrifier the Artcade, the bike should have that sound maybe, but the big honk would be the the fatality move, that special move that he does here. Sound is a great, you gotta choose the right sounds for the right moves, for it to match. Like it has to match. But I'm not gonna get started on the pixel art. Pixel art is just pretty mediocre, in my opinion. Could be done a little bit better with the way they draw the hands and all that, but you know, I can go on with that. But so far, like, you know, the intro there is like, that's great. I've yet to do like the special move. Like the little bit of a turtle stare with the citizens would just run. Who are they running from? They should be running away from art. Then again, I don't know why they decided to turn this into a beat 'em up game rather than like a single player. I mean, it is single player plus also multiplayer co-op if needed be. But I look at other games like say the NES Friday the 13th game or Nightmare on the Elm Street video game on NES, or even Predator on NES. Like those are more like actiony 2D platformers, not really platformers, but like they do have some, you know, jumping and then also shooting. The shooting part of it is what makes it actiony. But since Terrifier is known to carry weapons, a variety of different weapons, not just like knives or hand saws or guns, but there's like some comedy to him too. So he's got like tricks up his sleeves. You know, he's a clown after all. But I feel like they could, I don't know, turn it into a more, I don't know. It could just be like a regular action kind of game, 2D action, albeit like, you know, in pixel art form. But it's just not often we get like a beat 'em up game, so I don't know. I'm still accepting the fact that this is a beat 'em up, and why they're making it a beat 'em up is the question at this point. I think that I'm still trying to understand. But maybe that's the thing about arcade, is that usually arcades would be like filled with beat 'em ups and fighting games. Oh my gosh, how did that hit me? I was like right underneath him, but right by his foot, I guess. Hitbox where the guy is like attached to his foot too. Then okay, so we got some spikes. So like imagine like a TNT barrel just rolling across the screen on the stage, and you just gotta like jump over it. And, you know, that's part of platforming. Spikes on the ground, you know, like they could definitely make a platforming game, a 2D platformer, but they decided to make a beat 'em up instead. I don't know. Oh my gosh, not the exact genre that I expect for a Terrifier game or a video game based on Terrifier, but I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah, I love beat 'em ups too. You know, grew up playing Double Dragon and River City. But it's just an odd like combination. And we don't often have like a horror themed beat 'em up at that. But there was like, you know, Aliens versus Predator, or Terminator even. Terminator and Robocop. Oh my gosh. But I can definitely imagine like Freddy versus Jason sort of ordeal, where it could be a co-op. See, like the story of Freddy versus Jason is who gets the most kills. You know, is it Freddy or is it Jason? You know, that's what that movie is about. A great movie, by the way. But that could turn out to be a beat 'em up. They could turn that easily into a beat 'em up, like a 3D beat 'em up, or just even 2D. And then it's a matter of who gets to play as Jason, who gets to play as Freddy, and then who gets the most kills in each stage. You know, that makes sense story-wise. So that could be a beat 'em up. And why haven't they done that? You know, why haven't they done a beat 'em up video game based on Freddy versus Jason? Because that was so cool. You know, it makes sense story-wise because it matches with the movie. But then, I don't know, maybe they could have something with this game where Terrifier versus Pale Girl. Who gets the most kills, you know, between the two? Or maybe they team up together. Who knows? It's like a family beat 'em up of getting a kill or getting the most kills every year, every Halloween, you know? Because, you know, holidays, right? And when it comes to Terrifier, they usually link it with like holidays. So like, you know, there's the Halloween one for Terrifier 2. Terrifier 3 would be Christmas time. So it'll be thematic, you know. So maybe for this game there's a Christmas level. Oh my gosh, I barely even escaped that. The tip of the fist. You deserve the spikes, man. What the heck? I guess gotta wait for the animation to finish before he can get hit by that, huh? But yeah. Oh, I don't know why it says movie at the bottom there. Is this a movie set? Nice. Man, I gotta heal. Watch out for
Say
spikes.
cheese, motherfucker. This shot's gonna burn.
The heck? Did they use like gosh, this is gonna be I'm guessing this is the boss or something? Oh no! He got me with the camera, I guess. I like how the wait, that's gotta be Damien, right? Kinda looks a little bit like Damien. Alright, let me see why. Kinda wanna check, Pale Girl. Oh, nice. Wow, he uses the camera to hit ya. Oh, she's got a spin attack. That's pretty cool. Gotta tell him that. Ooh. Ooh. She talks. She grunts. Kinda looks like a Powerpuff Girl, but with makeup on. She's wearing like the dress. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the health. Where is his health bar there? Oh, he's at the bottom, okay. He's almost done. Ooh, man. Okay, down 2. George? Okay, so this guy's name is George. I'm looking at the name there. Cleared. I like her pose. Sort of reminds me of like, oh man. For some reason it reminds me of like Earthworm Jim a bit, with the way they draw her hand there. The pose. She's got that. Like, maybe a little bit of Clay Fighter, you know, along those lines of like Earthworm Jim and Clay Fighter. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could give her a little more agileness or smoothness in the animation. It's just like a 2-frame animation here, which is an okay effort, but I feel like if they want to go a little further, put some more frames in that animation, you know? It needs to be like celebratory. But this is very basic, you know, when it comes to like pixel art and animation. Like I can tell when something is very new, like this is like their first time doing like a pixel art sort of game or whatever, you know. I don't know. I do have to give them props though for even trying. But like the thing is like I'm very critical when it comes to like arts and meshing different styles into one. Not a fan of like different styles unless you know what you're doing. Some could work, some could not. style is very, like, you gotta be specific with colors and coming with a theme, and then sticking to that theme and not mixing too many styles that do not match. You know what I mean? So like, so the font choice here, an example. Thanks for playing part at the top. Never mind the spelling, but they could make the fonts more pixelated, you know. Keep it consistent if they want everything to match, to make it truly look like a retro beat 'em up. But I don't know, you know, they can do whatever they want. They're the developers at the end. But you know, this is just my input on how I would make it if I were to make the Terrifier game. You know, and if it's gonna be like this path, this vision, where they go in the retro style, 16-bit, 32-bit, how I want to, you know, keeping everything pixelated. You know, it's the way. But I don't know. There's a lot of pixelated games nowadays. Is where it's like it really comes down to like the art direction and how they pin that down. But if they don't have that down, it's going to be a total mess. You know, it's going to be a botched up, you know, pixel wannabe game. But oh man, I really like Terrifier. But when it hits mainstream and like every developer, not every developer, but like when there's a developer out there that wants to take hold of the IP and make a game out of it, and this is what we get, then you kind of want it to be a little bit better than your average, you know, game of that genre, you know, beat 'em up genre at that. But I don't know, that's just my, you know, critique on this game thus far. And I don't really, I mean, I guess I would critique once in a while, but like, I really want a little more out of this. Not just the demo length side of things, but like just the style and mesh of different assets. You know, the pixel art is just okay. It's not, you know, how I'd like them to be, because there's a lot of really talented retro style developers out there. Look at WayForward. If you're familiar with WayForward or Tribute Games, they've done like the Double Dragons. They've done the TMNT. Tribute Games has the Marvel. There's a beat 'em up game that's based on Marvel right now. Got what it's called, like Marvel Cosmic something. That looks great. I haven't even played that. That's part of the Steam Next Fest 2 that I want to get in. But you know, I feel like I could hop onto that right after this. Who knows? And you'll see the differences of the art. You know. Between like the art that's done in this, the sprites, all the sprites that's done in this, versus the sprites that we're about to see in some of the other games, you know. But this one's an okay effort. So I just give it that. But I don't know. I feel like there's more work to be done. I think. But if they're gonna release it like this, then so be it. I guess, you know, it's just a little game that's been made, and you know, when you mention the game to people, they may not heard of it, and I don't know. I just hope that people would hear about it, which is why I'm, you know, I'm trying to feature this and try to get it out there so that more people can see and know about that there's a Terrifier video game out there, or at least about to come out. And this is just a demo. You know, the game's, I think, slated for later this year. But I don't know, I kind of want the best for some of these indie games, and which is why I tend to feature a lot of these Steam Next Fest. And just my feedback, you know, providing feedback for all these games, and hopefully developers take note of them and just make their games better. You know, when I see like a small team, even if it's just like 5 people or 1 person making a game and putting it out on Steam, and you know, this is one way to help promote it and showcase the people that are interested in seeing new stuff, you know, fresh out the gate that no one's ever seen, you know. And once in a while, I'll come upon like a to-be hit, a future hit of an indie game, and to see something that's like based on an IP that I recognize. There's been a lot in the past in the form of beat 'em ups. There was a G.I. Joe beat 'em up that came out last year, something like that. You know, I'd feature that. There's an upcoming The Phantom, based on The Phantom, the comic book, you know? Beat 'em up game, you know? We don't often have beat 'em up games nowadays, but then you see like a returning IP. I think there's one coming up based on Masters of the Universe, I'm not sure. There was something else. Oh, there was one based on, what's her name? I'm forgetting her name now. Lady Death. Yeah, so the same developers of the Phantom video game is also making a Lady Death video game. So if you don't know Lady Death, it's in the comic. But look to the art styles of those. Like they're pretty good. You know, they know what they're doing. But yeah, and then now come back to Terrifier Artcade. It's kind of, you know, I feel like this is like more of an amateur work. No offense, but you know, if you can keep at it, you can come up with a sequel, a follow-up, or maybe make another game that could be, you know, heightened up a little more in the animation department or the art department. Put the art in the arcade game, you know? You gotta amp that up a little bit. You know, train yourself to do better. You know, that's what. Another thing is like, not just only the art, but the music. I feel like the art meshing with the music is something that would, you know, set the tone. Music really sets the tone, the sound design, you know, choosing the right sound bites for each punch, each kick, you know, each item drop, each item pickup, you know, it needs to have the right, you know, sound effect that makes the player feel like, oh yeah, they achieved something. You know, picking up that, I don't know, what's another example? I mentioned it during the play. Picking up the videotape, you know, they should have like I mean, there is a standard sound effect for picking up that videotape, but what if it's like something more special, such as like, I don't know, inserting the VHS tape into like a VCR, maybe have like some motor sounds in the VCR, get a close-up recording of it, and do fresh sound effects. They can probably use presets or I don't know, buy a pack of licensed sound recorded sound effects, or like, you know, stock sounds, whatever, or just get a recorder and record your own sounds, you know, clean it up, plug into the game, you know, or maybe, I don't know, downsizing it to like low quality 16-bit sounds or something, you know, like that could stylize the sounds to mesh with the game even more, you know. I'm just tossing some ideas out for you, but like, you know, that some of these games that they're just like push out the window too soon, and you know, they come out buggy, or maybe something's not right. But I don't know. Keep at it. That's all I can say. But yeah, this was Terrifier. I thought it would be a little longer, but yeah, I think that's it. I could try. Let's do another one. Let's do another quick play, because I wanted to show the third character. Let's see what happens if I do. Oh yeah, we gotta show these two characters. So let's do that. Wait, is it not going? Okay, story mode. Continue the old one. What if I do continue the old one? No. Apparently the Eastern button brings it in, so let me go back. I like that loading text there. It's like it blends in with like the retro look. Alright, let's do... Oh! Okay, so she's not playable, I see. She's locked with the red. See that? And then also the guard, which I've got its name out. Kind of reminds you of another character, but you know, I'm gonna go back in a little bit so I can see the pale girl. I don't think they ever mentioned her name. I was gonna get that guy. Yeah, I don't think they ever mentioned her name in the movies. Oh, of course. What the heck, Leon? Oh, she's got a fork. She's gonna fork you up. That's pretty cool, though. Oh. Let's pick the up and grab the guy. Oh, that's a nice finishing move. Oh my gosh, knife to the head. Oh, she's got the melon. Chop, 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 chop. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I stood there with the grab, whether I would still get hit by that. What? How is that still hit from behind? Because I just got to figure out the hitbox for some of these animations. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Even when they're down on the ground already, you still gotta wait for the animation to finish before you can hit them. Oh, I can't do a special in mid-air though. Unless it's like a move that pops up later on. Man, can we grab this knife back? Okay. I'm guessing that sprite is just stuck there. Oh my gosh. I thought it was clear from the attack, but apparently it still hits. Man, I've already lost like 1 or 2 lives already. Movie. Come on, pick up the thing. Wow. Oh my gosh. I like the mallet. I think the mallet could be a different sound though. Just to differentiate from the other attacks. Like a pwong, you know? Give it like a pwong sound. Like that, you know? That way it's a little bit different, so you can get something different out of each move that you do. Like it needs to match it. But if you reuse the same sound bite for each like special move, you know, there's just not much else to like from that special move. Yeah, sound is just as important. Like that there. The little spleet, spleet. The blood splatter doesn't really do much for me. It's just blood splatter. Like it fades out, whatever. There's some moments where like the blood's coming out of their face, but it looks like it's made out of flash, like using flash animation. So it's not as animated as you think it would in a pixel art game. It's just added with whatever engine that they use, Fmod or whatever. But it's not like drawn out in the way that you'd like it to, you know, or however I like it to. It's like it's not part of the sprite, but you know, it's just added onto it.
Motherfucker, this shot's gonna burn.
I don't know what they're doing with that voice. They should just have like a natural person voice it. Or maybe just put it in text form. Like if they're gonna add a voice for that, get a natural person to say it, I guess, you know? Would be much cooler if they can get like a cast member, like the film cast member to say it. But it almost sounds like a robotic voice, you know? Step away from that one. Oh no! Trying to escape that. Really? I gotta not use that fork. I got shot like twice there. This guy looks like he's got dynamites on his back. Which he does. Get out of there. Man, he's got so much health already. Oh no! I'm gonna have to continue. Let's see if they actually allow me to play as other characters. So it's just only those two. Let's go back to art. Oh, still hit. Let's get a special in there. I forgot what the L button was. My spikes, they do nothing. Ooh. What happened there? Yeah, there you go. Art bringing out his horn. You know what they could do? Here's an idea. So, like, based it on part 2 where he brings out his sunglasses, the sunflower sunglasses, what if he clears a level and then, like, brings out he puts out his sunglasses, you know, standing upright, and then he brings out his horn, like, you know, like beep beep, you know, like that could be the pose, his, like, you know, sort of celebratorial, you know, celebratorial pose. He puts on his sunglasses and then he just like beep beep, you know? Like that would be hilarious, but you know, it's just an idea. Yeah, it's just alright. Just alright. Technical side of things, I mean, it seems to run well, so surely they'll port this to, like, you know, console stuff, and they're getting a physical version put out for this too. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll do well. I do look forward to, like, some of the other horror style games. I guess Ilphonic is making that Halloween game, and Retro Realms, it's another studio that's been doing like retro style action style games, you know, pixel art form. They've done the Halloween one. It's kind of like an action, I would say beat 'em up, not really beat 'em up, but like it is in a way, where you gotta, like, you know, take out you know, the creatures and whatnot. It's got its own sort of piece of lore. So there's a Halloween one with Michael Myers, and then there's the Ash vs. Evil Dead, which I think it's much of a beat 'em up. I don't think I've seen any gameplay of it, but other than the trailers that were, you know, shown and announced, we had One Piece going pretty well. Tis a Monday, so getting down to some more Steam Next Fest. Just did Terrifier here, and just giving out my input on it and my thoughts now that, you know, the demo's over. But let's see if I can exit out of here so I can start up the next one. Apparently there's no way to escape out of this. There's no escaping Art the Clown. But yeah, characters created by Damien Leon. Okay, so I gotta just use the Alt and Tab to get out of there and then forcefully exit out of it. But I love Art. Great character to the horror scene. And yeah, let me see if you can find the link for this so I can actually link it to the chat and stuff. Terrifier Arcade. And this was the Steam version. Maybe I'll play one of the trailers here. I think this was in Spanish or something, different language. This trailer is pretty loud, so I'll just play this. Look at this art right there. This is a much newer trailer. Yep, Steam page for the game. Oh, I also captured an animated GIF of that moment there where actor Howard, who plays Art the Clown there, is playing on a Steam Deck and laughing. Oh, there's the physical version right there. You get like a whole bunch of stuff. Let me take a look at that again. You get the gloves, you get the soundtrack, I'm assuming. Some pins there, enamel pins. Wow, there's a bunch more here. So each of the 4 characters that's playable, and it's like a poster as well. It's pretty cool. I guess this is like a, not sure what this is here. Could be like an art book or something. Some cards there. Oh, there's a barf bag. Oh, you know what they could do? They could borrow another idea from, you know, more inspired by River City, where they can do a character that does barf, you know, barf. You know, the old barf sound effect. Or exclamation expression. Alright. Down to a next Steam Next Fest demo. Let's see. I wanted to get more like retro style survival horrors in. So there's a few that I haven't got to that I want to get to. Oh, this one's a great one here. Retro style survival horror, like very inspired by Resident Evil. Flesh Made Fear. Do check this out. I did a play of it the other night. It's now separated to its own video, so do check that if you're into the genre.